These foods, which you so happily eat on a daily basis, are all reliant on bees and other pollinators, which are facing population decline. This means your favorite foods and activities could be impacted.
According to the USDA, 35% of the world's food crops rely on animal pollinators to reproduce, which ends up being about 1 in 3 bites of food. Bee pollination also contributes an estimated $40 billion annually to the global economy, which includes the honey market, valued at $8 billion, and the beeswax market, valued at over $500 million. If bee populations continue to decline, we could be faced with worldwide malnutrition. According to the scientists from Harvard and University of Vermont, the loss of pollinators could result in vitamin A deficiencies, which can lead to blindness and increased death rates of some diseases, including malaria.
What does this decline look like? This graph examines the percent population loss of managed honeybee populations in the U.S. In red is the annual loss. The last year recorded, 2023, we lost about 55% of the honeybee population. Causing this decline? According to researchers at Montana State University, industrial agriculture practices like monocropping lead to malnutrition in bees, and heavy pesticide use kills loads of these pollinators. Mites can impact honeybee hives, sometimes decimating entire colonies. What can you do to help? Get your own hive. You will directly be increasing the bee population. You likely live in an area with some level of biodiversity. Use that to help the bees. If getting a beehive is a bit untenable for you, you can help bees in other ways. Plant pollinator gardens full of native plants, and even consider getting rid of grass seed in favor of purple thyme or clover, ground cover options which flower.
We were lucky enough to get an interview with a local Vermont beekeeper. Seamus Walsh runs Brooks Bees. He has been selling honey and beeswax candles for the past 23 years. He was kind enough to have us over for an interview and show us his operation.
How did you get the beehive? Where do you get your bees from?
Sure. Bees are ubiquitous, meaning that they're all over the place. The most interesting thing about bees that's plaguing Vermont now is that there is no native honeybee in Vermont. So they're all flatlanders moving over. Actually, the Brits brought them over. And I'm Irish, and we don't like the Brits. So anyway, that was an interesting thing. It's very, very interesting since I started doing this, where this year they lost up to 80% of honeybees in Vermont.
Wow, that's cool.
So people don't know what's causing it.
And have you felt like your hives have been, are you seeing that
Definitely.
personally?
Yeah. The good news is that for whatever reason, a lot of times honeybee swarms are coming to me, which is nice because at this time they're like $200 for a new nuke.
So when we were doing some research, we were reading about different mites having an impact.
Correct.
On. Is that happening for you?
Too. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
That's kind of a disgusting issue.
So gross.
So, mites are definitely, bad beekeepers is things that affect it. Mm-hmm. And what else would do it? Of water, of course. They don't like water in their hive. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do in beekeeping. And one of the value propositions for just everybody is pollination. There's no doubt that pollination is the best thing that they could have in the U.S. But there's another group, as I mentioned, that they don't see that way, and I'm wondering if there's a way to call both parties and figure it out, Mm-hmm. So, it's interesting.
We are very grateful that we got to interview Seamus. We learned a lot about the processes of beekeeping and why it's important. After the interview, he showed us around his workspace where he harvests and packages the honey and beeswax. If you want to check out Seamus's operation, go to brooksbees.com.
Do you ever have bees in your house? Do you ever
Yeah, all the time.